So we are continuing reading the H&R diagram. We just left off with estimating simple ones between 1 and 10 solar radius. Now if we have something larger, like any of these between 10 and 10 to the second, 10 to the second is going to be 100 times, right? So 10 to 100. So if it's something in between, well, 10 to the second is 100. So that means something in between is going to be approximately 50 times the radius of our star. Betelgeuse, the one that I'm focusing on because that was my example, is 10 to the third. 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. So Betelgeuse is almost 1,000 times the radius of our star. I can say almost, I can guess 900 times. So give yourself, an estimate, but it needs to be something that makes sense. What if it's a smaller one? Okay, so the first one, this 0.1 means 1/10, right? So 1/10 or 10 times smaller. So if we're talking about if it's down here, we're talking about 10 times smaller. If it's 10 to the -2, we're saying it's approaching 100 times smaller, or even less than that of our sun. So that was our mass, radius. We've done mass. That was radius. Luminosity. Now that's going to be the y-axis here. And that's the luminosity is compared to how bright that star would be if it was in the place of our sun. So here's one that'd be about the same as our sun. So right there's our sun. So these stars here would be just a little bit brighter or a little bit less bright than our sun because they're right there. If it's 10, we're talking about 10 times brighter than our sun would be those that are running about there. 10 to the second, that's 100 times again. That's 100 times brighter than our sun. So those running along there are roughly 100 times brighter. 10 to the third, 1,000 times brighter. 10 to the fourth, 10,000 times brighter than our sun. 10 to the fifth, 100,000 times brighter than our sun. So Betelgeuse is like 100,000 times brighter than our sun. If we're going in the opposite direction, 0.1, 1/10 the brightness of our sun. 10 to the -2, 1/100th, 100 times less bright than our sun. 10 to the 3, 1,000 times less bright than our sun. 10 to the 4th, 10,000 times less bright than our sun. Okay. Coolest thing about your star. This is opinion. It could be, why did you pick that star? It could be a comparison between your star and our sun. Composition. The summary page of the VLab. You have to have the VLab in front of you or this does not make any sense at all. Star type. What is it? Look at the diagram. Is it a white dwarf? Is it a main sequence? Is it a supergiant? Is it a giant? It's right there written on the diagram. What happens next? Look at the star cycle notes. You took those notes all the way back here, there. August 18th and 19th, we took those notes. So you should have those in class. Go back, look at those. What was the life cycle of those stars? Include all the steps. If it's a main sequence star, it goes to red giant. Then what? Continue that out. And that is the end of this second video. I hope this has helped you and you can finish writing your paragraphs with the help of these two videos.